All right, it is Monday, July 27th, and it's been a long time since I put up a video on YouTube. So I was checking, and I think that the last video was a mid-May update on my numbers. So it's been 2.5 months, so a lot has changed. My hair has grown back. We are clearly in the middle of summer. Um, I got a new dog, so you may hear him yelping in the background there. Um, he didn't want to come into the studio. I don't know why, but I offered. He didn't like it, so it is what it is. But so what has happened in 2.5 months? Well, the market has gone crazy, up, and I've made a new high in both my portfolio value as well as my personal net worth, and that's great. And I have really nothing to complain about, but I'm going to complain anyways because I just don't know how this market is pricing itself because it's so divorced from the economic reality. It doesn't make any sense to me. I think that this whole COVID thing, there are so many uncertainties and unknowns, uh, yet the market keeps going up and up. So there's a part of it where the Fed is just pumping liquidity into the market, and there's even talk about that they may create a special purpose vehicle to buy equities. God knows what they're going to do. They're already buying corporate debt, but yeah, we don't know. So one of the things is just to not fight the Fed. That's what they say. But I look at my stocks every day. I don't make trades nearly as much as people would think, but I do look multiple times a day. I mean, countless times. And I don't really react to them at all. For me, it's just kind of a mental accounting of where I am, almost like cash in my wallet. Like if I spend $5 and I took out $40 at the ATM, I have about 35, left. And for me, it's that mental accounting. Um, as I'm looking, I check several things. Things like PE for the market, PE for my personal holdings, how well they've done relative to the market, and things like that. And as a part of what I do, I also figure out, which ones have made a lot of gains in my portfolio, which ones are doing just okay, and where the concentrations are. So what I find, and it's no surprise, is that the technology stocks in my portfolio have done amazingly well, and they comprise more than half of my portfolio at this point. The other sector where I'm heavily weighted are drug companies. So I had Gilead, Pfizer, GlaxoSmithKline, Johnson and Johnson, AbbVie, you name it. And I have a lot of the big stock companies. Some of them have done awesome, like AbbVie, Johnson and Johnson. Um, but I'm also overweighted in that sector. So as some of these equities have gained in value tremendously for me and have made me a lot of money, at least on paper, right? Um, I'm thinking it's coming to a point where I should get out of some of them and, maybe move a significant chunk of my portfolio, call it 30, 40%, into cash or other positions that are kind of not in favor at the moment, and wait it out. Because personally, I feel like we are burning so hot that a big correction is on the way. When is it going to happen? I don't know. Maybe it's when Biden gets elected. I mean, there's no certainty, right? But all signs are pointing to a Biden election. Um, Maybe it's a second wave of COVID-19 come, colder weather later this year. God knows what. But I just know that there's no way the way things are going can sustain itself compared to the economic reality that we're reading and hearing about and the uncertainty that's still there. So I feel that. I get criticized for this decision because a lot of people are telling me, don't market time. Time in the market is more important than timing the market. And I really believe that's true. Generally, I believe that's true. But I also believe that you can't be blind to new information, right? We all hear about these maxims about, Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when they're fearful. The best time to take advantage of the market is when there's blood in the street, things like that. Don't worry about a crash, right? If there's a 40% crash, view it as buying the best companies on sale. I believe in all of those things. And for me, I don't view what I'm doing now as market timing, even though I technically am timing the market. And I did it, a couple months ago when I sold out. And then when I bought back in on all tech stocks, and have made a nice gain on it, right? Yeah, it's market timing. But at the same time, my thought process is that as I've made some of these gains, they've become so out of whack in my portfolio, more than 50% in tech stocks. I need to sell those winners off. Not all of them, of course, because I do feel in my heart that technology companies are the way of the future. It's the new revolution, right? So I'm going to be invested. And it's not like I'm going to sell out and just sit in cash. I'm going to redeploy the funds to emerging markets, small caps, sectors or parts of the market where it hasn't gone as hot, right? And I may have a larger than normal cash position to take advantage of any opportunities that will come up in the near future. So it's not like I'm going to be selling out completely and just sitting on a pile of cash, right? That's not it. I view it more as a rebalancing, because when I started, my rule was not to have more than like 4 to 5%, if even 5%, in any one equity, right? And that's a great plan. You want to be diversified. You're going to have 20 to 25 stocks in your portfolio, maybe more. But over time, as you have winners, and I've had winners that have gone up fivefold, it's going to make up a huge part of my portfolio now compared to the rest who may have gone up, just not as much. And to me, it's more of a rebalancing. So when people are telling me or criticizing me, that I'm timing the market, I don't get bothered by it. I pay attention. I see what's going on, and what I'm doing may take a year, 2 years, 3 years to pan out. It may not. I could be completely wrong. But, I view it more as a rebalancing than trying to time the market, right? Some of my winners have just gotten ridiculously crazy. And I'm going to do what I can to, make my portfolio more resilient to corrections and whatnot. And, it is what it is. So somehow the dog has gotten in, and he's now roaming around, so no yelping. I tried to invite him in earlier, but he wouldn't come in, but whatever, he's here now. In any case, that's the update for end of July. God knows who watched these videos, by the way. I think I have like 15 views, on the last one, and I don't expect better for this one. But in any case, I wanted to just kind of give an update and, more importantly, kind of lay out my thought process on what I'm thinking. A lot of it really is for record keeping, so that I can look back and say, okay, here's why I made a certain move. Anyways, I hope you find it useful. If not, hey, this is free stuff, so do with it as you will. Anyways, I'm off. See you guys later.